What is up, guys? It's Lauren, and I'm here with Sophia Sadie. We are here doing the Piscean perspective.
Finally.
Our first show, our pilot. So we're so excited to be here and share just whatever you guys want to know and all of our Piscean amazing magic knowledge. So hold on, I want to pull up the, oh God, let me make sure that I know how to do this. Okay. So we can be in the chat. Okay. Oh, I'm so smart. I did it.
So,
all right.
today, people keep posting about it's 11/11 portal.
Right.
But
of course.
our calendars are kind of wrong. So, like, it's not really, like, technically
the actual
11/11 because it's not the Mayan calendar.
Right.
But I guess because we kind of follow this calendar, so it's still like energy. We feel it, right? In a way, because everyone, it does kind of feel like a magical day still. Yeah.
Because it's 11, because today actually is, hi guys. Hi. And if you guys want to know certain things, please give us like whatever you guys want to hear and talk about, know about. But obviously we're starting off with like synchronicity, the 11/11 twin soul portal. That is interesting because it always is during Scorpio season. Scorpio is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I remember last year was a really big day because I felt a huge change in my life last 11/11 portal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's when I like literally stopped talking to my ex like for good.
On 11/11?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was synchronistic to like...
it was like, it clears out old energy, and like Scorpio season kind of does that.
100%.
Like, yeah, transformation.
Like where you felt like energetically like a shift.
I really did. I did like a breathwork class and everything.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
I feel like I felt a shift just this past lunar eclipse, like energetically.
My God, yeah. It was, well, and our north node is Leo, so it like squared it.
Right.
So, like if you had north node like Aquarius or Leo, like you really felt this eclipse.
Yeah, I definitely did on, the full moon Taurus one, but my nodes are being squared anyways in my chart because my nodes are at 10. So like north node in Taurus and south node Scorpio are just like naturally right now, just like squaring my nodes in my chart, which it did that to you earlier this year.
Yeah. I think it's good though because it like brings out energy or it clears old things, especially 100%.
It totally does. Yeah. And it was much needed because these past 4 years have been with Saturn and Capricorn and Aquarius. I'm ready for that energy to be over.
Oh wait, what's your Saturn in? Because it's going into Pisces, like in like.
Oh wait, hold on. Sorry, 1 minute.
What?
Let's talk about 12/1/22. So fetch. You are funny. 11/11 is so fetch. Like, oh yeah, here, girl. Thing. Hold on. I'm gonna. Up on the chat. Wait, what was it? Oh, here. Okay, here. And then do we go up? Yeah.
Oh yeah, click that.
Here we go. And then Sophia had her just hold on, like, okay, there. And then we're both in the chat now. Okay. All right. Iggy, you're funny.
Wait, what? It's so
hi, Elizabeth. Hi, guys.
Oh, thank you.
Yay. Thank you. So it's so fetch. I fucking love that. That's hilarious. But okay, so it's 11/11, obviously, but it's also 2/2. So, you know,
like double numbers.
Right. So it is an 8.
Which is Scorpio
day
transformation.
And
and
so
karma.
It's definitely karma. But like you said, that needs to be like, especially in Scorpio season, reset, cleared out. Hello.
Do you believe in twin flames? Like, have you had one?
Right. So I don't love the terminology that this whole twin flame, I definitely believe in sacred connections, divine unions, all of that, obviously, because that's all very real. But I feel that everything that you read nowadays, whether it is a twin flame channeler or just meme astrology, I feel like how it is portrayed is actually very toxic. Because if you read when it's like, oh, the runner and the chaser and the, you know, like if it has you waiting for somebody
for like 2 years, like I've seen a lot of people wait like that long.
Some people are just like, right, because we're clearing energy and we're holding space. Yeah, you can hold space for anybody, but you're not going to fucking disrespect me in this 3D avatar and just be doing you and doing whatever you want to do. Like, absolutely not. And so I think that it has people stuck in karmic loops, like, but in their mind, and like almost like the psychosis that's not real. Like, it's very like Neptunian, you know, it can be like very Piscean, where it's like you, like the whole thing is that with any of these type of connections, it is, because again, I always say in mythology, like Eros and Psyche and Isis and Osiris and all of these people were not running around saying we're twin flames, we're twin souls, we're this, we're that.
Because shouldn't it be like balanced? If you're like in divine union, you like balance each other and you bring what the other person lacks, like a puzzle piece.
Absolutely.
And and so it's like it shouldn't be so turbulent, because like those dynamics are like really toxic.
Yeah, and everything is karmic, like twin souls and all that. When they also say, oh, it's not a karmic situation, yes, it is. It's because you're clearing so much energy from past timelines. Like,
so you don't want to be with a karmic. Like, you wouldn't want to marry a karmic. I wouldn't, at least.
No,
so,
and
like,
they
toxic.
trigger you, but like a lot of people get confused too about like what a karmic like if you read, I read something the other day, I could probably pull it up, and it was like the difference between a soulmate, a twin flame, and a karmic. And it was like, well, it's confusing because karmic and a twin flame can be like, you know, they can seem very similar because it is triggering and this and that. And I was just like, the whole thing is that a sacred union, a divine union, it is an energy exchange between two people that literally unlocks psychic abilities. It puts you on a path. It is ascension. It is like you feel it. It's nothing that you have to Google or like research or whatever. Totally. It's an energy exchange that takes you to another, to that you're ascending.
Yeah.
And yes, it's not that I don't believe that somebody can be stuck in the 3D matrix and that one person can be ascending. But if this is years of you trying to pull somebody up from the underworld and they're not ready to ascend with you, right?
Yeah, I think you can be spiritual but still be stuck in the 3D matrix. Like, you can know all the spiritual stuff.
Yeah.
But like not know how to get out, because I feel like I was there for a while. Like, I was still like, I was working bottle service. I was in 3D, whatever the matrix you want to call it, for a long time. But I knew about 5D. I knew about spirituality. But it's just like, sometimes it takes people a while to be able to like leave it or fully,
of course,
like step into their north node.
Well, and I think that that's just a process with everybody. Like, it's like baby steps to like get there, but once you, like, we talked about this about like the awakening process and like, you know, people's comparing the three things. Yeah, exactly. Twin flame meme astrology is 100%. Yes,
there's a lot of things in like the new age movement that's like kind of toxic, and so like it kind of like disguises itself as like spirituality, but like it's really like kind of taking you off of it, which is a weird thing. So it's like, it's best to just like follow your own internal compass, like how you feel about things and what feels right, because there's a lot of like stuff that can sweep you away, even if it looks spiritual. It's
and
weird.
like spiritual, like, what is that people talk about, like toxic positivity, which I find not interesting, but like also a lot of people like that I do 100% people spiritual bypassing, like where they're like, I have to save this person and do this and that because I'm not going to do the work and look in the mirror. And when it's like, save your fucking self. Like, you don't need to be, we're not here to save anybody else. We're here to like guide and enlighten and, you know, hold space for people. But it's like energetically holding space for somebody while you're still doing you and like ascending and doing all of that, you know, whereas this whole twin flame thing, it's like, yes, I need to be, you know, holding space and I'm going to wait, you know, while I'm eating my Haagen-Dazs and fucking, he's just going to show up at my door 10 years later. It's like, that is psychosis. That is not like, and that's just like unhealthy for anybody to even be in that mindset, meaning like this whole twin flame thing, it does keep people almost like trapped in these like karmic loops because it's just, it's like if you're, and that's the other thing, if like two people are meant to be together, even if they came together and like separated or whatever, like it you know, they will come together, you know. Some people have to go on their own karmic journey with other people and you can't interrupt their contract.
Yeah, like you have to grow and like sometimes you meet people and it was just to meet them and then it like kind of triggers stuff in you and then you like go on your own, because that's what happened with me and David. Like we met and then we grew. I grew so much like when I met him, and then when we just got together, like I'm a completely different person from then. So like,
and when did you guys like meet?
We met in November of 2020, like exactly.
Okay. Oh, in November, in Scorpio season.
Yeah.
Or
it
maybe
was like, it was right after Thanksgiving. So I think it was Sag season.
Okay, so Sag, but still.
So.
But then stayed in touch.
And yeah, we both changed a lot. So I think we were supposed to meet, but then like we weren't supposed to be together yet. We had to grow more.
Other.
Yeah, totally.
You activated each other, but then you had to go and like do your own work separately to then be able to come back together. And that's what we're talking about. You know what I mean? It's not like this like crazy, like, runner tracer, karmic loop, like, you know, nonsense.
Yeah, if it's right, then things will fall into place. Like God wants it to happen.
And these type of connections, they're healing. Like it's a healing like connection, and it's a process, and it's just it's not whatever is being wrote about on this meme astrology.
For real.
I'm trying to, because I'm bummed out. They're talking about twin flames. But I would say that a big part of when somebody activates you, an energy, an important energy, a past life energy, because that's also what these connections are, past life connections from deep ancient timelines of whether that's Lemuria, Atlantis, Alexandria, all these different timelines. The 144 people talk about are star seeds. Like when they talk about actual twin flames, they're saying that they're star seeds that are like coming back together to fulfill a mission. And that there's synchronicity. So whether that's you seeing a million different number patterns to, you know, hearing songs or their name or whatever, it's like in your face, you know, reminding you of this energy. So that's another thing to this whole, like, you know, sacred soul, like, connection, you know? So have you experienced that?
I've definitely experienced
like in your own way
with people. Yeah, that's the thing, because like I've experienced synchronicity with so many people, so I feel like we know so many people from our past lives. Like I've almost heard that like everyone that's like close to you in this life, you've had a past life with, because like energy repeats itself. So I don't know if that's true.
And as Pisces, but we're the 12th house. We're the last zodiac, so we've lived so many lives. And therefore, like, yes, everything that is happening in our lives is from the past. And it's like some you recognize more. And it's the 12th house. So are you my enemy or my soulmate? Like, you know, what contract do we have? Like, you have to be discerning with the 12th house.
Because you can have synchronicity, but it's not always like, oh, this is your soulmate. It just gets you have synchronicity.
No, it just means you're on the path. Like,
like you were meant to meet this person. Yeah.
Right.
And
to grow, to activate, to like all of that. It can be fated to take you to your destiny. Yeah,
and some people, I feel like I know them from past lives. Like, it's super familiar. But I don't really feel that with the relationship I'm in now. Like, I don't feel like we might have had past lives together, but I don't feel that. Like, I don't really feel like
yeah, you guys are just healing and growing together. It is a very healing relationship. I mean, you guys have, you know, Chiron place. Oh, well, we all have Chiron placements and all that, but like you guys have a lot of synchronicities in your own charts, like in your synastry and your composite and like all that, you and David.
Yeah, we do. And we both have Chiron close to our moon. So we have that same thing going on. And then like he has Saturn in the, he has Saturn in Scorpio, I have Saturn in the 8th. So it's kind of similar. Right. To have your Saturn return like that. So.
Yeah. And you have Saturn in Taurus, but it's at like, it's at the beginning degree. Like it's like 0. Yeah. And then his is in Scorpio. So you guys are opposite on that of light and dark.
That's true.
Taurus and Scorpio. But if anything, the Taurus and Scorpio axis is transformation.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know what I mean?
And it's like divine feminine, divine masculine kind of
100%.
Thing. Yeah.
Like a lot of the times they associate that type of access with Isis and Osiris, which is the ancient, you know, they're the true twin flames, what they said. But I mean, back then they were back in the mythology days. I mean, they were brother and sister. So,
oh really?
Yes, girl. They were all, you know, it was a different time. It was a different time, even though I feel like coming into this age of Aquarius, we're kind of going back to not that, like, but you know, just being more free, you know, with
it's like breaking old barriers and everything. I feel like it's a process, like it slowly happens, like it seeps in. So like I feel like we're in the age of Aquarius, like, or at least we're like feeling that energy already, because it's like slowly trickling in.
Yeah, well, we won't even be around until like the true age of Aquarius like even like happens. Like people think because Pluto's going into Aquarius, that's the age of Aquarius, but really it's like.
But we're kind of there because all the technology and like breaking old barriers and like structures
definitely propel us into that, you know, 100%. But it's just like the breaking away of the age of Pisces.
Yeah, all the illusions and like
faults. But it's also unconditional love. But
but it was like a lot of religion. There was like so much religious structure, so it kind of took it that way.
False prophets.
Yeah, and I heard that like I don't know, like I heard this from like Dolo, the Pilot Man. I don't know if you watch him. But
no,
like,
who's that?
I love him. He's an Aries, Sag Moon. He's like all fire.
Is he an astrologer?
Like he does astrology. He's like spiritual. He talks about spirituality.
What is his name?
It's Dolo, the Pilot Man. I'm sure a lot of people know about him.
DOLO?
It's like DOELOW.
I'm gonna have to look this guy up.
Yeah, okay, but he said like the ages like play out like the opposite. So like the age of Aquarius, but like the people will play it out like Leos. I don't know.
Oh,
why.
okay.
So,
like
when
the
age of
opposite,
Pisces,
like
it was like Virgo, like all the businesses and structure of it.
Yeah, that would make sense because it's just like the opposite ends of because Virgo is opposite of Pisces, Aquarius is opposite of Leo. You sound saucy. We have so many synchronicities in our own chart. Like we're both North Node Leo, Lilith Scorpio, Sun Pisces.
We both have Gemini moms.
Yes.
And then your dad's your rising sign. My dad's my rising sign, which is interesting.
Yeah, you're right. My dad's a Virgo and your dad's a Libra. And you said your dad has a Scorpio moon. So. Yeah. Well, your Mars is in Scorpio, but like, well, and you always do see those like synchronicities within family members and stuff like that too, like within like charts and all that, because you have a lot of, do you have a lot of Aries? You have your Venus in Aries and then your Jupiter.
I have Venus, Jupiter, Mercury. I have like Vertex or something and then like something else.
So, and then didn't you say that a lot of people in your family are Aries?
Yeah. But 2 of my siblings are Aries and then I have 1 Gemini sibling.
Yeah. So see, it's all like, yeah,
I have a lot of Aries around me.
Yeah, well, fire, because you're not a typical Pisces either. Like you're Pisces sun, but you have a lot of fire.
Yeah,
like which is fire, is good because I don't know what it's like to be any other sign. So when people are like, right, that Pisces are so, you know, sensitive and emotional, it's like, well, yeah, because I do have a lot of Pisces, but my Mercury's in Aquarius, so it definitely like changes it up. They say that when you have, if your sun and your Mercury's in the same sign, that like you really like represent like that sign.
Totally, because it's how you think and everything.
Right, but if your Mercury is in a different sign, it's like you embody, like your sun energy like embodies that, but like you're not like the typical, you know, you're not a typical Pisces and I'm not a typical Pisces. You're a fiery Pisces and I'm like, I've got all that Libra in my chart. So I have like a lot of air and water and you have a lot of fire.
Yeah. And no earth.
And you have water because your Mars is in Scorpio and then your sun in Pisces.
Yeah, that's my only other water is the Scorpio.
Yeah, but that's potent enough having a sun Pisces and a Mars Scorpio. Which, what is it like to be a woman with a Mars in Scorpio? What is that vibration?
Well,
I have Lilith in Scorpio.
I've always been really intense and like
so
cut people off if they like piss me off. That was like when I was younger, I would just block people and stuff and I would get really intense. So I've always been really intense that way. And I didn't know why when I was younger until I found out I had Mars and Scorpio.
Yeah.
But, and like, I've always wanted, cause like you want your partner, if you're a girl,
right,
to be
I was
like
gonna
the Mars
say in
sign.
relationships because I'm a Pisces, so trust me, I'm like, I don't fucking want anybody looking at my like
more like I guess protective or whatever. But then that's how I want my partner to be because that's my Mars sign. So I like guys who are protective and dominant and like a Scorpio. So those are the type of partners I like to be with because of that. Right. But also my Mars and Scorpio went retrograde when I was like 6. So my progressed Mars and Scorpio will be retrograde the rest of my life. If you like base it off that. So
that's interesting.
Yeah.
And the other very interesting synchronicity that you and David have is you guys both have your fucking progressed moons in Scorpio.
Yeah,
like,
1 degree apart, literally.
But it's going to be like that forever. Like they're traveling, like, so that's extremely intense.
Yeah. It's we're on the same emotional like path.
Yeah, and it's very transformative.
Yeah.
I mean, because girl, I'm coming out of that transit and I'm like, now I know what it's like for everybody that has a moon in Scorpio. Woo! That is
I could not
intense, but it's been like, I mean, definitely like the best transformation, but it's been super intense. I know. What is everybody saying in the chat? Both of you ladies have such a soft and beautiful Pisces. Oh, thank you. Love it. Been around too much harsh energy. Yeah, no, we're not about that. Pisces, Sun, Cancer, Moon, Sag, rising. Yeah. Yeah, well, you definitely, I would say you've got definitely some psychic energy. I like this Iggy character, synchronicity. Yes. What you said that it was so fetch, which is Clueless, which I love that movie.
So do you ever feel like reality is like a dream being a Pisces? Because sometimes I'll just be living and I just feel like this isn't real. And this is like, I'm like, I can't get out of like feeling like this is a dream. And I've kind of like learned that more like when I did DMT that like this reality is like a veil over the true reality. And like the true reality is like the spiritual world. And like we kind of are dreaming here and creating this reality to like experience it and like forget that we're like infinite souls.
Yes. I don't feel like I'm on this earth at all.
Do you not?
No, I just like people. It's so interesting because so many people like talk about dreams, right? And it's obviously a dream, but I don't remember them. And I feel like because I'm also a projector in human design.
Oh, yeah.
So my aura is just like, and being so Pisces, it's just like open. So I just like feel everything, but I'm probably not remembering my dreams, which I am obviously dreaming when I'm sleeping because I'm just like dreaming all day. Like I feel like when I'm awake, I'm dreaming, you know, and that I am just in like such a, it's hard. And I think too with like Neptune has been on our sun, like we've had like major activation, like any Pisces has had major activations with this Neptune energy on whatever planets it's hit. But like it hit my Venus, my sun, and now it's on my Mars. And it's like,
yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. In the experiences in the past 5 years of just like people and stuff, I'm like, like all the time, I'm like, what did I come down here to like do? You know, like I understand why I'm here, but when you go through such intense experiences, you're like, what is going on? Yeah. And so you don't really, I thank God I have a Taurus moon in my Virgo rising, or else I would be.
Grounds you.
Oh my God, I would be so, and I always say, thank God I don't have a Mercury in Pisces. Not that there's anything against a Mercury in Pisces, but I would definitely be out of my mind.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
it's
know
a
what's
fall there,
real.
so,
I would be
yeah.
like so deceived, you know?
I feel that way sometimes, like what is real, but
but as a Pisces, you have to go with how you feel. Like, I think that's the most important thing, but being very discerning of that, because we do...
we get like swept up in illusions. So like we have really strong intuition and psychic abilities, but also we have like fantasies that aren't real that seem real, like just as real as reality. So
yeah, or we want to play out those fantasies. Like, that's hard because it's Neptune, right? So it's like somebody can activate you and you're like, fuck, I know this person is so dark, but like, okay, like, let me see.
Yeah, but like you see the best in them.
Let's go down that. Yeah.
It's rose-colored glasses.
Yeah, Pisces open Pandora's box probably the most out of any sign, even if they're not wanting to. Like, it's just, it's like...
That's true.
And it's not even that. I feel like, I know definitely that you can't save anybody and that we're not here to do that. Like, I understand we're here to guide and hold space and all that, but it's like you do come to a point with certain people when you're just like, yeah,
it's draining.
My
your
love
energy.
is never going to be enough to pull you out of the underworld.
And you have to put yourself first too, because you can forget
after
that.
a lot of experiences, though. Like, Pisces go through those like crazy,
like giving your whole self to someone. Like,
yeah, and we attract as an empath. We are a magnet for narcissists and all of that, because they want that energy. Because, but I said in that live that we did, I was like, you know, that person, we had to experience that with that person because we had to go through that lesson, but they also needed our healing energy at the time.
And it can help people. It can make, they say you can't cure narcissists, but like, I feel like you can make them better. But our energy
could like activate something in them to like, maybe like, you know, want to be better, whether they are going to or not. It still can like have that like effect, you know?
Yeah, I even heard that like narcissists can't go to ayahuasca, like do ayahuasca and go to ayahuasca retreats because it makes them worse in a way. Which is weird. Like shamans that really know what they're doing, they like say that narcissists can't do it.
Yeah, well, and I mean, there's so many types of narcissists.
Yeah,
you know what I
true.
mean? Like, if you're like so deep into your like, because I mean, like, what's the difference between a psychopath and a narcissist? You know, I mean, there's like so many different rabbit holes you can go down with that. People think that to be a psychopath, you have to murder somebody. No, you can be
there's
like...
sociopaths that are like, no, they're sociopaths and they have relationships and stuff. They just don't feel human emotion. Like, they don't feel for people. But they can still have relationships, like, and not be evil.
Yeah, because they need to be around people.
Yeah.
But then it's like... Yeah, and they're usually with like that empathetic type of like soul that's like, oh my gosh, you know, I've met this, you know, amazing person, but yet energetically, you know, I mean, like my best friend, it's like but she's very Virgo and she has a Pisces moon, and it's like, and she's with a partner that she knows that like he can't, it's never going to, like, it's passionate, but it's never going to be like emotional on the level that she can like receive. But she's just like, you know, I just have to stay in it because
I never get that. I always like, feel like if you want to have something great in your life, just get it. Like, you can manifest anything you want in your life. So why stay in situations?
Well,
like, you could do anything in your life. You can move anywhere, do anything. Like, why stay stuck in situations that don't make you happy? Because like, you have this one life. You can do anything in this life, so you can create. And you can't create that life if you just stay stuck, like, for whatever reason.
100%. But because it's so crazy of the conditioning that people have been programmed.
Yeah, they believe they can't manifest.
100%. And it's like, right. And I don't resonate with that. I'm just like, am I like hearing and seeing? And when it's your friend, it's hard, right? Because you're just like, that is such an illusion. And then also like people that, you know, have to, you know, she's like has to take, you know, like a lot of like antidepressants and stuff to escape her reality.
Yeah. That's
you know,
hard.
Which it's like, you wouldn't have to do that if you were if you were on your path.
Yeah, like live your truth.
You know, like, of course, like I don't have anything against medication. Like there are, of course, some people that have to like take that have chemical imbalances, like have to be balanced out.
Yeah, it can help people for sure.
100%. But when you are literally on like a million different things, like to just escape your reality, then that's a problem. Yeah. You know, and that is just a huge problem collectively, you know, whether it's, like, I don't think that using anything in moderation is bad, but when you're like abusing like substances to escape, which is so Neptune and Pisces, I mean, that makes sense why weed is like legal everywhere, and you know.
Yeah,
like,
that happened during that time, and so many people were using drugs, and like it was just party culture everywhere. It still is though, so it's kind of hard to like see everyone like in your age group or whatever doing a certain thing and you don't align with it, like partying, clubs, like that's a thing to do, which is so weird to me because it's so draining and boring. I'm like, every time I've gone to a club, I'm like, this is so because boring. It's like I don't get it. Everyone's drunk and just trying to hit on you, and like no one. It's just like, why do I want to sit in a dark room and drink? Like, it's just weird to me.
And thank God, like you grew out of it, like when you did, because most people, if they ever do, or it takes them a very like something tragic to happen or a very, very long time for them to like come out of that space, because let's be honest, everybody's always seeking something outside of themselves, whether
it's like filling a void, that whole thing, that whole
absolutely
party scene.
It's like, but even if it's not partying, it could be fucking porn, it could be, you know, video games, it could be fucking anime, like it could be so many things that people like just get obsessed with to like literally escape their reality. I don't think anything is bad done in like, if that's what you like to do for like hobbies and stuff like that. But I mean, and I did not grow up in like the whole porn generation and all that, and thank God, because I'm just like, we had to like interact like with who we were like with and all that, and it's just like, for your generation, that shit sucks. Like it's like I'm sure dating and like all that, because they're just like
the Tinder and everything.
Oh my God, no, there was none of that. It was like you had to like actually, you know, have a conversation with somebody, and like, I mean, there was like flip phones back then. You couldn't even like text, like maybe texting was like a thing.
Yeah,
it's like all the relationship charts, 22 in the chat. Hi guys. Does David's astrology course love masterclass? Yes. Yeah. All of David's classes are amazing. You should take any of them or all of them. Yes. They're all definitely worth it. When I go to clubs, it usually to halo host or sell things. Oh, to help host or sell things, LOL. Well, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, listen,
I think
that whole industry, you can make.
I think the future will be like, you know, spiritual gatherings or stuff. You know, like kava bars. They have kava bars in some places where it's just like that root kava, and it's like a bar, but that's all that you drink is like the kava root. I wish that was the thing.
Oh yeah, that's like for like anxiety and stuff like that?
Yeah, they have it in Santa Cruz.
Valerian and like all of that is like natural.
Yeah, and it is an anti-anxiety. I heard it's bad for you if you drink too much, but like it's very good for you, I think, if you drink it in small amounts, and like there could be like natural things we were doing instead of like poisoning ourselves, because alcohol is like one of the most toxic drugs. It's more toxic than every drug than heroin, literally. So it's so normalized. It's like you're weird if you don't drink, which is like so backwards. And it's like you're weird if you don't do hookup culture, which is like, I never liked hookup culture, and everyone thought I was weird.
What is that?
Hookup culture is like everyone just like hooks up, and like no one wants a relationship, and they just want to hook up with each other and have fun. But like I'm so sensitive and deep, especially with my Mars and Scorpio, I can never be a part of hookup culture. And all my friends were like that, and I was the weird one but it's like so weird.
But that's why you're but see, then I feel like it's like, because that is how I feel. Like with the whole like like let's be polyamorous.
I know, I could never.
And I'm just like, I'm fucking not sharing anybody.
Yeah.
Like, and I wouldn't want to even be with anybody that would like even want to.
Yeah, they should.
Like
you should
entertain
be them. Yeah,
like, which no fucking judgment. Like some people need to like be
totally
super stimulated. You know what I mean? Those Geminis and Aquariuses, they love to be stimulated.
Yeah.
Listen, it obviously works for, I guess, a lot of people, but I'm going to say there is not one person that I've ever known to ever be in a situation like that somebody does not get jealous and that there is some type of, you know, whether it's a falling out with like, because it's a third party situation. Well, I don't know. It could be a 20
really.
party situation. Like, who knows?
Yeah, because it's like there's two people. That's like the balance of a relationship. So it's like really imbalanced if you add more people in, because it just gets complicated and like messy. But if people like it, they can do it. I don't judge people. I just could never do it. And
I want a simple, like, fucking life. Like, I don't want it to be like, you know, like, do all of that exciting shit with your partner.
Yeah. Like it's like everything. If you find that one person that like completes you, like,
right. I don't know, like, okay, free love and all that, but it's like then, and I don't even understand why somebody would, you can't even say you're in a relationship if you're wanting to be with multiple people.
What do you mean?
Like,
oh, they say they're in a poly relationship. There's that thing. Like,
yeah, just throwing a label on it.
Yeah.
It's like this whole label thing. And it's like, don't throw a label on something. Like, if you don't want to be judged, it's like the minute you put a label on something, you are asking me to like judge you and judge it. It's like, just fucking be you and do you, and that's fine. But like,
there's so many labels nowadays. Like,
oh my God, everything's a label. I can't even keep up.
I know. It's like, why do you have to label yourself more or say you're something else? Like, just be yourself. And we use language for a reason. We don't need to change language, because language evolves naturally over time, but like they're trying to forcefully change language, and it's like, it's not natural. And really, it's forcing freedom of speech.
Language, the real language is energy, because words lie, energy doesn't. So it's just like, that's the other thing. I just, yeah, I mean, girl, we're just like, we're like ancient souls that we came down here to be like, wow, this is interesting.
Yeah. That's
and
how I feel.
How am I going to navigate through this? And like, you have to go through so many karmic experiences and lessons with people. Like, girl, your vertex is in Libra, like 7th house, like, what? Or no,
Mine's
I'm sorry,
Aries,
your vertex is in Aries in the 7th house with Jupiter. Lessons, people, like, you know what I mean? But that will bring that relationship, that sacred relationship and all of that after you've gone through, right? Like all of these, so it's just, we have and as Pisces, we have a lot of lessons.
Totally. Like, our whole life is lessons in like karma, I feel like, and getting judged and misunderstood, because Pisces is the most misunderstood.
Oh, 100%.
Sign. So it's really difficult.
And that's why it's just kind of like, you have to just, you know, you just cannot care what anybody thinks. I mean, nobody should care what anybody thinks, but for serious poly couples, and they usually do need to work through jealousy and have very clear communication and boundaries, trust you. Well, yes, it is a complex subject. Yeah. I mean, of course, I would assume that they would have couples therapy and all that for that, because, ruined my I mean, listen.
My parents tried to be poly for a while before they got divorced. It was a mess. So I've experienced that when I was like 12. So it's just like, it's never ends well from what I've seen. And I've had 2 friends that were like that. So
and I'm not saying that it's not for, gotta love that Chiron in Aries since 2018.
I know, because my Venus is in Aries, so Chiron, like I have problems, like issues with the way my self-image, or like my beauty, because Chiron was in Aries. It is in Aries.
Yeah, but once we get out of Chiron in Aries, it's not going to be, that's just like something that your soul is just like growing from and like going through, because girl, I have my Venus in Pisces, and so I already passed that with Chiron was in Pisces. I mean, that was a while ago.
Yeah, that was hard for all Pisces when Chiron was there, because...
Right. It was on all of my planets, actually, now that I think about it. Exactly. Fuck. With Neptune, it's like... Yeah, ever since 2008, it's been very interesting, because Pluto has been in my 5th and 11th since 2008. I wonder where it's at for you.
Yeah. What is?
Pluto. Well, it's in my 5th and 11th as a Pisces and a Virgo rising.
Oh, because Pluto's in Cap? So mine's in my 4th and my 11th.
Okay, yeah. So home.
Mm-hmm. And then like collective and stuff.
Yeah, which makes so much sense because of like, right, all of your like family stuff, and then like, and then the collective.
Oh yeah, that's really true.
Oh no, yes, of course it's in your 11th as a Pisces, right?
Your sun sign,
Right. That has been
The sun houses.
I've gone through some really interesting, like
being around interesting, crazy experiences with friends and stuff, and like
yes,
crazy,
in groups, and like
I've experienced a lot of that. I
like
was doing
where I'm
Reiki
just
with
like,
this group of people, and it turned out to be a crazy situation. It was like really dark and stuff, and I just like had so many weird experiences with groups of people. So it's definitely a Pluto.
We're almost out of that. So it's been, and I mean, it has been very transformative. It's been very Pluto, because Pluto, it's like this like slow, like you're like, oh, it's this thing, and then it's not, and it's like obviously transforming into something else, whether that's good or bad. But it's Pluto in the 11th has been, it's made us very discerning of people. And people that were around.
And choose your friends wisely, and choose who you're around wisely.
Yeah, and just all people, groups. And you learn that with that one group of people.
Experienced any like judgments being spiritual, or like people like roadblocks, or people trying to like stop you on your spiritual path? Or
I just think that people just probably think I'm, I mean, people already just are like, I'm like a black sheep. Yes. Like I'm not ever going to conform to, well, it's not even about conforming. It's just that I just am who I am. Right. And everybody else is so like 3D in their conditioning. I wouldn't say that I've had any like bad, or like that I've had any people like be super, because like for me, it just happened, and I couldn't like, it was just like, this is who I am. Maybe more so like, I don't know. I mean, all the baby boomer generation, like our parents and stuff like that, of course they don't get it, because they're like super trapped in the matrix, but I'm not trying to like wake them up either. I'm just like, I would say if anything, it would be more my parents, but not in a like negative way. They're just kind of like,
they don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, but I've been like, when I was like a child, they were like always, when you're a starseed, I feel like they're taking you to like psychologists and stuff. They're like putting you on a medication, that happened to me, and they're like, what's going on in there? And it's like, and all the like psychologists and stuff would be like, yeah, she's got everybody figured out. Like she's can so see clearly like what the fuck's going on. And it was like, I was like, it's not me, it's the fucking people I'm around. It's
totally.
Because
that's
our families are karmic, to us. So
the most sensitive one is usually like the scapegoat in those like toxic family dynamics, and then they like blame all the issues on them, and then like you need to be medicated.
Don't you feel like the black sheep?
Oh yeah, I was always the black sheep. I always remember my family like getting along, and I was the only one like,
you're like, do I belong here?
Yeah, and they were the ones who like put me on antidepressants since I was like 12 to like 18.
Right. So like, and then to like, you're actually suppressing like who you really are, your psychic abilities, all of that kind of stuff.
My memory's horrible now, and I think it's because I was on SSRIs like all my teenage years, and like it was very much affecting me because I felt numb, and I don't know, it was crazy because I didn't taper off them either. Like once I turned 18, I was like, I'm not taking these anymore. And I think it was just because I was really sensitive and an empath, and I was absorbing all the negative energy in my house because I didn't have like a stable home life. Like my Neptune's in the 4th house, so I had a very like,
me too,
see, that's another thing we have in common. So I had a very unstable like home life, and like with like,
and it's weird,
drugs or alcohol around me and stuff, like, so
yes, and you're like, this isn't right, but like you can't, like, it's your family, so they're going to be like, you're crazy, you're just too sensitive or too emotional. And you're like, no. I mean, now
I just knew what was going on. My siblings were just like, whatever. Like, they didn't see the dynamic, but like I could understand it, and I was like absorbing it. Oh,
Neptune in the 4th is, it actually makes you though very, like, it does make you, you're psychic in your home life, like, like, I can't prove it, but I can feel it. But in that also trusting your intuition, like in seeing that in your family dynamic, when you are in like relationships and stuff like that, when it doesn't like feel like right, or I mean, for me, if I don't feel safe, I know it's not right.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like, and when people are like, what do you mean like safe? It's like, no, not like safe where I feel threatened, energetically safe. Like, I'm like, you are not in your highest good, and you don't want to lose me because you understand that I'm that healing energy for you, but you're fucking doing some shit.
Yeah.
And you just feel it.
Totally. You can't really explain it with words.
And if I wanted to dig to go fucking look for that shit, I have enough Scorpio in my draconic chart to go and dig and find anything I want. But the moment that you feel that you have to go and find something on somebody, you already know something's wrong.
Totally. And if you feel like you have to
already know.
Have you ever been in a relationship where you feel like you have to start voice recording your arguments because they're like gaslighting you so much?
Oh.
I've been in those relationships, and then I heard it's like once you start feeling that way, it's like you need to get out, because like they'll like say something and they'll be like, I didn't say that, like you're crazy, like right after they say it. Like those are the worst relationships. But
yeah, 100%. And then if anything, it just like, then you feel that you have to start doing that. And it's like, then you're not being in your true self. Because I've learned, I mean, everything that I've learned, it's like obviously been from like my surroundings and stuff like that, and family and all of that. But I mean, I can be good at doing that too, but only because I know somebody else is doing it. So it's like, oh, you want to mirror each other? You're going to gaslight me. I can gaslight you.
I don't even know how to gaslight people. Like,
oh my God. What, girl?
Like I would go crazy because I would be like, wait, I don't actually remember. But you also, if you're like a light worker or you have a lot of light energy, you have to be really careful with who you surround yourself with, because there's like energy vampires, and they might not even realize they do it. They do it subconsciously, like take your energy and like drain it and like literally like suck your energy.
Absolutely.
Like
I believe in, you know, incubuses and succubuses and all that kind of stuff. It's all very, very real. And it doesn't even have to be something that's like not of this world or living. It literally can be the people that are around you.
Totally. Yeah. There's people
that
are
like siphoning your, like,
I'll feel drained after I'm with them, or like just darker. Like my energy will feel less light.
Or even people that I've dated and then been around like their friend group and met them. I'm like, oh, I do not like whatever group of people this is. They're fucking not good.
Oh yeah.
Dark as fuck. And it's like, sometimes it's not even necessarily that I don't trust that person. It's the people that they're around.
Oh yeah. But then if you're around those people,
Well,
I've seen that too. But like if you're surrounding yourself with those people, then you don't have good boundaries, or it's still going to get into your aura and into your psyche if you're around those type of people.
100%. Yeah. And so that's when and those are the hardest people usually to cut off, because you usually have a very strong bond with them. But you're like, again, I'm not here to save you, you know, which they're karmic situations, you know, and everything has karma, but it's like, whether it's good or bad or whatever, it's all a lesson, you know what I mean? And I just think that how people perceive karma is very also like they get triggered by that word, right? They're like karma, and it's like, no, it just means that you came back to like do
learn something or balance energy. There's just like karma will sort everything out, so it's not a big deal if something bad happens to you. And also if you go through dark things, that's where you learn the most. Like that's why we go through dark things. Like if people judge you for the dark things in your past, not like doing dark things, but like I was a dancer or whatever, people judge me for that. But like even when I was going through it, because I was already spiritual, like I always knew that this was part of my life path, and I learned so many spiritual lessons being in that time. So like I wouldn't be who I am now if it wasn't for it. So it's like you can't really like judge people for dark things. That's where they learn sometimes the most. We've
fucking that's the part of being like in this work and a light worker and a starseed and all that. God, what was this on Gaia? We watched this show. Well, I don't know. David's the one who was like, oh my gosh, do you watch Bashar? He like channels this.
Oh, I haven't seen him.
Oh my God. Well, I thought it was like the guy that he was talking about, but it's this guy that channels this alien called Bashar.
Oh, wow.
This guy's fucking insane. And I was like, at first I was like, I don't know if I'm resonating with this. But then I was like, oh, okay, yes, I am. And it was like everything that all these signs, all this stuff, he's like, it's not even about questioning it. He's like, it's just you are on if it's there, it's meant to be there, and you just got to go through it. And it's like, right.
Yeah, totally.
So why the fuck do I even like overthink any of this, right? Like, I'm just like following my path.
Yeah, and like the astrology is already like planned out, so what we'll go through, we're meant to go through already. So God's gonna take us down that path. And
absolutely.
Like, even when you feel like your life's over or like you're going through the worst thing, you like afterwards you're like, oh, I understand now, like why I had to go throrough that, even though it sucks.
And then something always else comes together or comes in, whether it's a person, an opportunity, a friend, like it's there's always something, even if it's not immediately after. I mean, it's like, you have to go through the dark to come out to the light. And we might go through that many a times. Like the dark night of the soul is a real thing, and people think it's like you go through it once and you're like out of it, and it's like, no, there's many different, like, I think that when you're ascending, you do go through a major, it's like the shedding of everything that you're just like, it's like the veil is like ripped off, and you're just like, oh my God, I don't fucking resonate with anybody anymore. And it can be very lonely, right? Like this, like once you start ascending, it can be so lonely, but then look, it's like, it brings you to like the people and your soul tribe and where you're meant to be.
Yeah, because it's like your true self. So then you like manifest people around you or attract people around you that are like aligned with that and like
absolutely
vibrational matches. So it's worth it, but it is lonely at the beginning for sure.
Right. And it's just like, it's that dissolving of all the conditioning and everything that, you were told that you already knew like wasn't real, but it's like you're in that bubble of like being controlled. And that's the other thing. It's like some of my friends, I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe that, like, even at their age or anything like that, it's like, are you not, like, yes, you are the only one that is in control of your reality. Like, that's what's real, But so many people are like, I have to take care of this person. I have to do this. And it's just, it's crazy.
They get lost like outside of themselves, but it starts within. Like everything starts within. Because then it's all just a reflection. Like everything around you is a reflection of
a mirror.
Yeah, your choices or your energy or like who you are, what you do. So like,
and we're all, I feel like, student and teachers to like each other.
We are.
Well, it's what's attached to them. All people have godlight in them, but it can be that they don't have their own auras protect. Oh yeah, and you can see, that's the other thing. On it, out of it. You have like the gift of like being able to see people's like auras. I find that fascinating.
Yeah,
that's amazing. You would be very good at like tarot and oracle and like all of that.
Yeah, I loved her. Actually, my mom was the first person to introduce me to tarot when I was like 17. She like learned all the cards, and she would do my tarot readings whenever I was going through something hard.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I got really into that, and she got me like a psychic reading when I was like for my 19th birthday, and I met a psychic, and she like.
And did you resonate with it?
Yeah, she told me I was psychic too, and that like I was supposed to be here to like pave a new spiritual path for people and stuff. So I really like that, and yeah, I can see auras. I also saw orbs around that psychic. So some people have like really strong angel guides, or for some reason I can just see orbs around certain people that are like really intense. Like around her, they were like the most intense orbs I've seen around people.
And what about like when somebody has like obviously not just feeling that their energy is like off or like dark, like it is like the aura of somebody that would be in a more negative vibration, like is it actually dark, or is it just like it's not light and bright?
Yeah, it is dark. I've seen like dark auras that almost look black around people, like very dark. Around like when I went to this certain spiritual shop, there's this Santeria or something. I've been to 2 Santeria shops, and both times I went, the 2 guys that working there, like on each store, they had the same like really dark aura. And I've seen another person with a really dark aura, and sometimes I try to tell myself it's not real, so then I try to not listen to it, but it's always right. Like whenever I see people's auras, like
you can't talk yourself out of it. Then it's like you're not right, like really trusting, because it's like you probably don't. You might think that you're like judging them, but I feel like if it was meant to like be shown, because like telling you don't go back to that shop. Yeah, or like the energy isn't pure or like in alignment with like something. Yeah, good. And like if you did buy something from there, like it might. Yeah, because like I'm like I loved like things that you like. That's why I always say like I want to like go. I mean, I think that high vibe is high vibe, but like you know, with David and all of his like his book, like he has so many like ancient relics, right? That I'm not saying that they contain negative energy, but like I'm so into the paranormal, I'm like I want to go and get like one of those like things
because we feel ghosts
like,
here.
Yeah, I'm going to be like, speak to us, like, you know, because like all the books and stuff that he has, they all hold energy.
Oh yeah,
and ancient, obviously, knowledge and all that stuff, but not just like the books, just like you know, I mean, there's so much stuff here that, like, you know, which. Of course, we're hoping that they're only like, you know, really amazing ghosts. We create karma in the now within our own energy, auric field, thoughts. Yeah, at 100%. It goes both ways, the giver and the taker. Yes. Yep. Of course.
Oh yeah, acupuncture, definitely acupuncture will release energy. And Reiki too, like when you get activated as a Reiki healer, like you'll, your whole life will shift because it shifts your aura's vibration. So like everything in your life will literally change.
We're all quantum entangled. Like we're all weaved together. Like when everybody's like, we are one, you know, and people are like, what does that mean? It's like, yeah, we are.
Yeah,
you know,
every piece of light is connected in a web.
100%. And obviously there's people that you're, you know, really meant to learn from, that you have those contracts with. And then there's others that it's just like, they come in and they come out and it's like, okay. And you just have to like fucking keep it moving. But when you have like, you know, a lot of water, because like as Pisces, we're supposed to teach people how to let it go.
Yeah, it's like
that's
the
like
ultimate release. We're half here, half dead in a way, because we're half in the spiritual world, like we're
100%.
Our psyche's half in the psychic world.
Yes, and so we want to. I mean, I don't, not at this point in my life am I like, oh, I of course. No, I mean, I'm not sitting here trying to be like, oh, everybody's great, because that's not true. And everybody's not love and light. And there's also like the spiritual side that is like dark, of spiritual narcissism and like all that kind of stuff. And it's just like being very just like really just being discerning of like the energy that's around you, feeling that. And it's not even about judging it. Like my friends would always be like, how do you know that this person is like, you know, and it's like, it's not that I know it. Well, I mean,
it's like,
I know
you can't
because
describe
I
it with
feel
words.
it.
Yeah. Like you can't describe feelings with words. Like,
and I'm just like, how do you
vibration.
not feel that way? Like, it's so crazy to me because I'm just, because I don't know what it's like to not be a Pisces. So I don't know, maybe somebody that is more air and is like detached and they're just like more like logical and like in their head. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I can be in my head too, but at the same time, it's like my feelings override anything that I think.
Mm-hmm. That's the first thing you use to like understand
like
things.
That's my compass.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can't ignore that, because every time I've ignored that, it's been right.
Exactly.
Like about people. So how many times do I need to be taught that lesson? It's like, right, I have to trust what I feel like anybody does, but especially people that have a lot of water in their chart.
Yeah,
definitely
and it's the hardest thing because
that.
usually people around you see it differently, so they'll try to like invalidate how you feel, not on purpose, but it's just because they see things differently.
Yes.
And so they're like, that's not true, like try to make you like not trust yourself. But that's why you have to really just listen to yourself and how you feel.
Yes, that's like the biggest
more.
lesson.
Yeah.
That and then of course when all of those things, it's like not even making predictions. It's just like when all those things are like, oh, you were right. It's like, yeah, I don't need to. Yeah, because I just knew. I just know, like, it's just that inner knowing, you know? So at the time, it might feel like good to then be validated about it, but it's just like, I don't need that. I'm just like, it's just one of those things that's what I think that we're also here to teach other people, is like that you do really have to trust that. It's just so important because it can be like also life-saving, you know? Just in your life. Does Sophia have the ability to see... They want to know if you have the ability to see entities attached to people. Well, I mean, I think that's also like dark energy and dark auras.
Yeah, I felt them before, like dark things attached to people, and I've felt people who have passed on before. Like I feel that sometimes, and
you could probably, girl, you should. Like, which I'm sure, like, this is all just like a start of like you are ascending. You have been ascending, so it's like. like being like an angel card reader and stuff like that. Like, because that's very healing for people, especially if you have that ability to really tap into that, which you do, because this has been something that you've always had this as a gift, but maybe like when your parents did put you on all that stuff that suppressed that ability, it's like coming back online. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it definitely did come back, especially when I was 19. But when I first started like feeling spirits that passed on, they tried to give me messages and stuff, but I decided to shut it down. Yeah, because when they know that you can see them or like get messages from them, more spirits will come around you that like pass on, because they know you can relay messages to this world. So like, I just don't really want to do that, because it's a lot, like there's a lot of spirits that are around here that want to give messages to the people that they left behind, because they can see things from a higher perspective, like once they pass on. Yeah. So they want to be able to like say sorry or like tell the person they understand. For the other. Yeah.
Right. Well, I think that, you know, you could, if and when you're ever ready to do that, but you just have to like protect your energy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you have to like really cleanse yourself and
it's a lot.
Make sure that it's obviously only like positive energies. You have to hide your hair. What is wrong with my hair? Get acupuncture and look at the energy that comes out the needles. If the room has the right lighting, you'll see leaving your body. I've had acupuncture and I do like it. I mean, I like any of that stuff. I like any type of like healing modality, but I'm a Virgo rising, so.
Yeah, and I think Pisces like is a healer too.
Yeah, 100%. Like you actually described that really good when you were like, Virgo's more
like physical healer.
Yes.
And then Pisces spiritual, like emotional.
Yeah, like energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like very like 5D, like 3D, because Virgo can be 3D because it's like more like mental, but they are good with like their physical like hands. Like a lot of estheticians I know are Virgos, and like nurses and stuff like that.
Yeah, they like understand people.
So it is, and they're the opposite axis of like Pisces. You know what I mean? Is 5D. And Virgo, I mean, I feel like Virgo's kind of,
3D. They like
D.
to be in the 3D world, like building things and businesses and making money.
Oh, yeah, EVP recordings at night. Yes, that's what I want to do. Seriously, I want the Ghost Adventure guys to come here and like...
That would be hilarious.
Oh my God, I love them. They're like so crazy psychic. EVP, that's what I need to get is the EVP recorder. Yes, and they like talk to you. 100%. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Yeah, I feel like this has been a good first episode. Is there anything else, Sophia, that you want to talk about? We've got to have you guys keep wanting to come back for more, but I love that we went live. This is what we're going to do every time. It's going to be live, and there's going to be a chat. And then we're going to be in our really cute set.
Our flower set we made.
We just didn't have like, we need to have like chairs.
Like pink chairs or something. It's very North Node Taurus vibes.
Yes, I know, I love it.
North Node Taurus.
It is, and it's very Piscean and magical. And
someone asked on the YouTube thing, will the total lunar eclipse be discussed? Do you want to talk about the eclipse?
What do they want to know?
Well, I guess fixed signs were hit the most, so we're mutable. So we didn't feel as much except for our North Node.
I mean, the eclipses have been going on since May, so it's like, you know what I mean? They're 6-month cycles. So whatever your life was going on in May with Scorpio and Taurus, it's like you should have took a snapshot of then to obviously just now, and now take a snapshot and then 6 months moving forward.
What was 6 months ago? Like what month?
It was in May. We had the Scorpio and the
the opposite.
And it was solar. No, wait. Yes, it was the full moon in Scorpio, and then the solar in Taurus, and then this was the full moon in Taurus, and then it was the solar, and so it's like beginning and endings, right?
Yeah.
And it depends on what house it's hitting. Like for me, it was in my 3rd and my 9th. And for you, it was where?
That's my...
it wasn't it in your second and
my
eighth?
ninth. My
second and 8th.
Yeah, 2nd and 9th. What?
No, it would be your 2nd and 8th.
I have the same one
right?
as you because we're both Pisces sun. So for our sun houses, they're the same.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
And so
then our risings are just one off. So yours is one
Right.
forward than mine.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, it's important to know what's going to like,
yeah. And I think
going to go down in the next 6 months. I mean, we're and Uranus is there. It's like, I mean,
oh yeah, that's total changed. And it's interesting because the North Node's in Taurus, which is Venus, and like the whole divine feminine is raising on Earth. So I
but
feel
the
like
South
that's
Node
bringing
though
it
is
up.
always the strongest pole. So people like,
But you don't want to stay there. You want to get
well,
out.
no, you don't. But I'm telling you, everybody I know is in their fucking South Node.
Well, yeah, like a lot of people
And
are,
it's
but you don't want to be in
Scorpio.
that because it's the easier energy to be in. It's the stronger traits. So,
Absolutely, and it's
but you have to
Scorpio, so it's like
build-
the heart, like that. Like I feel like this is
build into the
anybody that
Taurus
has this
energy.
access, like in their chart or just collectively. It's like, I was like, everybody's gonna go to their North Node in Taurus, like because why would you not? And now I'm like, oh my god, why did I think that? Like, forgetting that the South Node's in Scorpio, and this and that it's just the pole. It's
Yeah.
literally the underworld of like.
Oh yeah, and like the dark,
It's-
even like clubs is like Scorpio, and like drinking, drugs. Like a lot of people are in that energy and the darker sides of reality, and I feel like that's really dark, and that's why like because a lot of people aren't that
Secret
spiritual, so
sex.
it's like the collective. A lot of the people in it are in that Scorpio energy right now, so it's like super dark everywhere.
Yeah,
right now
probably like
that is
dark
spiritual.
occult shit too. Like who knows? I mean, it's like I have 4 good friends that have this in their chart and they're not North Noding it when they absolutely should be. Like, I mean, they're in their nodal return and it's right. I mean, I want to go North Node Venus. Of course.
Oh yeah, we are.
Duh.
We're building the pretty
We are,
set, and
right.
it's like Taurus is a slow builder, like the slowest sign, but
Yes.
it's like building a business, building something beautiful, love, like
Right.
feminine energy. But it's like it's going to be a lot more work than if you're just in the instant gratification of Scorpio with all the sex and drugs and stuff.
That's what people, right.
Yeah.
And the South Node is always the strong. I mean, even people just like in their chart always go to their, their South Node.
Yeah.
What you've already like done, but it's even more intense with it being in Scorpio. And we're in Scorpio season, so it's even more like,
Oh yeah, and all the Mercury's in Scorpio, right, and Venus or something.
yeah, and like David was talking about how, Eros is in Scorpio, and I was like, well, that's a fucking
shit.
vibe. But he was like, I understand what he was saying by telling people like, don't be pulled into that, but like, if you're in a relationship, fucking Eros and Scorpio is 100% a vibe.
It's lit.
Pay
Taurus,
officers
Mars
to go
gang.
personalize sometimes another.
And Mars
If you
in the
go to a
second.
Santeria shop, you have to blend in, hide your
I didn't
vibe.
know my uncle's
Yeah, 'cause
girlfriend took
isn't
me
that,
there,
like-
and it was pretty dark. She like bought a reading for me from him, and he was like telling me to like bathe in this rose water, and like he told her to like burn a chicken or something. Like get a chicken and something.
Yeah, it's different types of like witchcraft.
yeah.
Yeah, my teacher did that work. I took a training and only would do, yeah. And it's like, I don't know, we're in Scorpio season, so people that have that like Lilith witchy energy that for divination and all that, like that is extremely potent and powerful if you're doing it obviously for the right reasons. We should end with like a card because I have these witchy cards. Hold on, I have
It's a lot of witchy vibes in Scorpio season.
Let's see, what are the witchy vibes before we let you guys go? What should we talk about on our next episode? What do you want to know? Tell us. What is it? What is anybody in the YouTube thing saying? They want to know about the eclipse. Well, take a snapshot of your life right now, and in 6 months we want to know
about spiritual narcissistic people.
Yeah, well, that's
a real thing. I've
protect your
experienced
energy.
that. Like they use spirituality to get close to you, and they don't really walk the path.
Called the
or believe in
spiritual
it.
seducer.
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
The spiritual
crypto.
seducer.
I don't know anything about crypto
No.
or Pisces. I have like no Earth in my chart.
Follow David
I'm the
for
last
that.
person in the world you want to ask on that. Like,
yeah, we're not. We're talking
all
about
I know is Bitcoin, 'cause my dad
numerology.
did that when I was younger, but I don't know anything about
what's your house number.
It doesn't
like,
even make sense to me.
Do the numerology on whatever the house, like.
Anything spiritual, I got you, but I don't know anything about finances.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. That whole system's crashing anyways. So,
yeah,
I mean,
that's
like,
what I said.
I don't know, take all of your money out and put it underneath your bed.
Is gonna
Put it in a safe underneath your bed. Like, 100%. Taurus
turn it
and
into
Venus,
gold or silver.
yes.
You want to have silver.
Taurus Mars.
Someone said I'm their twin flame. I know they're joking. That's funny though.
Oh God,
I've had that
it's
already.
not that one guy, is it? He's definitely
oh my
dark.
God.
Yeah.
That was the most dark spiritual energy ever.
Yeah, I hope to God that
he's probably watching this.
Oh, look at something popped out. Witch. So see, you guys should, a healer. We're healers. All of you guys are healers. The witch. Oh God, is it not going to like focus? Not going to focus.
Oh,
yeah.
of course, the witchy vibes.
So you need to do
The
witchy
Scorpio's
vibes.
witchy.
And I just said that. I was like, you guys should do divination and all that. 21 degrees, I think. Oh, that's, my Mars is in Scorpio. Nice.
We love a Scorpio
Oh,
Mars.
an awakening. I love that. Witch and awakening. So.
We're awakening to our witchiness and not
What did we
suppressing
see?
the divine feminine. We're the witches because we're connected
What does
to
your
the spiritual
tattoo
world.
mean? Is it the planets?
This is the moon phases with sunflowers and roses in it because those were my favorite flowers
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Why do you not like it?
I do, but like he did it uneven. All my tattoos are cursed. I'm not meant to have tattoos.
Oh,
and, like,
no, they're not.
yeah, they are. All my tattoos are like I'm not meant to have tattoos.
You're not?
Yeah, because like they
Girl,
always
I
didn't
feel
end
like
up well.
like I have so many like silly tattoos that I would never get removed because I'm like, I got them for a reason. Like I was meant to get them.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave this one, but I'm getting my hand tattoos removed. Like, and I might get like smaller ones on my hands.
Yeah, but
like,
that one's cool.
Yeah, it's an eye.
The
I mean, I
all-seeing eye.
just found out recently that like the Illuminati is just a reflection to us, that we like gave away part of our spiritual knowledge to like forget who we are and come into this game and like live this game, and like they're actually not evil. It's just a reflection of us that we chose to come here and like believe there was dark energy, because all that exists really is light and like infinity, like infinite being,
Right.
of just oneness. So like we decided to forget who we, our whole sight and vision and knowing.
No, I agree with that. We're all just remembering. So, healer, awakening, and initiation. So you need to be initiated into, initiated out of the fuckery. And you need to clearance, because then you can get a union. Look at that. Mm-hmm. Your divine.
Oh, that happened to me.
Sacred union. Yeah.
You have to clear the bad people out of your life that are bringing you down, or like the bad,
Twin blames.
let go of your old life.
Who are you, Iggy? You are funny. You are funny. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being with us and being in the chat. And we can't wait till next week. You'll see us in the set. And I had such an amazing time.
Yeah, me too.
Wasn't it fun?
Mm-hmm. It was really fun.
Yeah. We're just North Node. We're on our path. The North Node Leoing it. So we will see you guys next week.
True.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.